Well, thank you all so much for zooming in with us tonight for our closing performances. My name is Jeffrey Arndt, and I'm the Director of Theater and Fine Arts Department Chairperson at St. Patrick High School. What you are about to take part in is an interactive murder mystery developed by the cast members and mildly improvised for your viewing pleasure. I want to give a mad piece of respect out to Jocelyn Masonette and Erica Cantor, who took the creative control over this show when I had to shift my focus to starting to direct Hamlet. And really excited for that next production, but I cannot wait to see what they've put together for you all tonight. Before we begin, it is important to recognize that at St. Patrick High School, we attend school and create art on the ancestral lands of the Kickapoo, the Sioux, the Miami, the Peoria, and the Potawatomi. We thank them for caring for this land since time immemorial. I also want to give a special shout out to those audience members who have attended one or more of our murder mysteries before. You are the expert detectives, and please help everybody else out. Without any further ado then, I would like to welcome our two detectives to the screen. We are about to solve a murder. So detectives, if you would like to come on out, to the audience, I say, enjoy your performance. Here we go.
Good evening, fellow detectives. I'm Detective Peabody, and this is my partner, Detective Doc. A few days ago, the body of actress Amberlynn Jones was found at the bottom of a mountain next to her wrecked car. Though this may appear to be a terrible accident, we do suspect foul play to be involved. Miss Jones was last seen leaving a party last Friday, driving her personal vehicle, the same one that was found at the bottom of the mountain. Though the windshield was destroyed, bullet holes were found inside her car seats and as well in the back window. Inside the car, a half-drunk bottle of alcohol, an unarmed explosive, and many bullet shells were found. Currently, an autopsy is being performed, and we are waiting for the results to arrive shortly. While we wait, we will begin interviewing our suspected murderers. With the help of all you detectives at home, we are going to solve the murder of who killed Amberlynn Jones. If any detectives would like to ask questions for suspects, feel free to send them in the chat. After each suspect, we will send out a poll to ask you at home if you think the suspect could have killed Miss Jones or not. On that note, let's begin our first suspect interview. And we would like to bring out our first suspect, Mr. Robert Huntington.
Hello, detectives. It's actually Bob now.
Oh, okay, Mr. Robert.
Hello, Robert. I know that you were involved in a previous murder investigation that you were actually found partly guilty for and went to prison for it, and you came out of prison with an eye patch now. What happened with that?
Well, let me start off by saying involved is a little too much. I was an accomplice of, which in essence, I didn't really do anything. I just opened a door. So I'm not really at fault here. But yes, the eye patch was from my brother Marco. He cut my eye after I didn't bail him out.
So you are admitting to being an accomplice to a prior murder, correct?
Accomplice, but I guess, yeah.
Well, you didn't bail your brother out, but did you bail yourself out?
Yes, that is correct.
All right.
Mr. Robert Huntington, your eye seems fine.
No, it's my other eye, actually.
Oh, of course, that makes sense.
When did you bail yourself out?
Sorry?
When did you bail yourself out?
About a week after I was arrested.
So it only took a week for Marco to get mad at you for not bailing you out, or for not bailing him out, I'm sorry.
Yes, we were in there for about 5 or 6 days. And on the last day, when I finally decided not to bail him out, he took a piece of glass and stabbed my eye with it.
I'm sorry to hear that. So it says here you're now in charge of Mr. Huntington Enterprises.
Yes, that is correct.
How's the company doing after word came out that you were an accomplice to murder?
Well, in essence, the business my father ran completely collapsed in the week-long period that I was in jail. And then when I got out, I reformed it into Huntington Enterprises, which is now doing fairly well.
Moving on from business talk and actually getting on topic here, how do you know Miss Jones and how do you have any connections with her?
Well, first of all, I was trying to hire her to do a commercial for us so that she would bring some popularity back to the company. She refused and then decided to spit a bunch of hateful slander that was all lies about the company and about me specifically. Also, she ran over my garden, so that was kind of frustrating.
Your garden?
Yeah, she ran over the entire thing. She's a horrible driver.
Would you say her destroying your garden and your company's reputation, would it anger you a lot?
Well, I mean, yeah, there was like thousands of dollars worth of plants. I got the most exotic plants from Africa in that garden, and they were all gone. So yeah, I was pretty mad. Also, the blaming, the lying thing was.
You seem to be more mad about the garden than you are about the company.
Yeah, it didn't affect the company all that much, just by like a couple $1 million. But the garden, that's kind of the big deal here.
If you don't mind us asking, Detective Celia from home is wondering, what were the lies that Miss Jones was spreading about you?
Well, it was mainly about the company. She was saying that we were running illegal arms dealing underground and doing all kinds of illegal activities. And so that was kind of harsh. That hurt me.
Well, were you running these activities?
No, of course not. That would be absurd. No.
Are you lying?
How do I answer that? No, I'm not lying.
I mean, that sounds legit enough for me, Doc. I don't
Thank
know.
you, Detective.
Of course, Robert.
Well,
Bob.
you understand the situation that happened and how we found her and where she was.
Yes. Oh, by the way, did you get the autopsy reports yet?
No, we're waiting on those.
Oh, great.
Why? Is there something we should be looking for in these reports?
No, not that I can think of. But just in case.
In case what?
I don't know.
Can
you?
No.
Mr. Huntington, moving on. Where were you the night that she was at that party, driving home?
I was also at that party.
You were?
Yes.
Did you happen to see her there?
Oh yeah, we had a conversation.
What went on in that conversation?
I don't remember. It wasn't very long. Just about daily activities.
Why would you be having a conversation with Miss Jones even though you were mad at her for destroying your garden?
Oh, well, I mean, I had to say hi. It would just be very rude if I didn't. Plus, I had to give her some heroin that she asked for.
I'm sorry, what?
She asked me for some heroin, so I gave it to her.
You gave her heroin?
Yes.
How?
You do know that is highly illegal.
That's an illegal drug.
Not if you can't catch me for it.
Well, Robert Huntington, you are currently sitting with two detectives who work for the police, and you admitted to not only possessing but distributing heroin.
Right, but you don't have the autopsy reports. That's the thing.
Well, we're going to be receiving that soon. I'm sure when it comes back, there will be. Should we be worried that there's going to be?
No, not if she didn't take it.
We're gonna put you in a holding cell, because you did admit to possessing and distributing heroin. So that's a separate charge that we're going to
Okay.
charge you with, but we're done. We're done here.
That's
Good luck with that.
No, Robert.
Did he admit to
I mean,
possessing and distributing heroin and then try to get away with it by saying that we didn't catch him?
did we catch him really? I mean,
Yes, Peabody. We caught him because he said the words, "I gave her heroin."
you're right. You're right. I'm sorry. On that note, all of our detectives at home, they find him very untrustworthy, which clearly he isn't. Doc, should we bring up the next suspect?
You know what? Let's move on from that man and move on to his brother, Marco Huntington.
Evening, detectives. You mind if we move this one along? The guards are kind of giving me a dirty look.
Oh, that's right. You're still in prison.
Right. It was weird, I had to do some things and, I was about to get out and here I am, still locked away, doing
And
nothing.
you're fine with this?
Oh, I'm totally fine. I'm chilling, dog, rolled my way to the top. I'm right up there.
Why is it that you're still in jail? Because it says here that you were supposed to be let out right after you were put in jail.
That's correct. You see, I was gonna get the 3 years, and then my brother was gonna bail me out. And then he said no, and then I stabbed him in the eye, and then I was given another year. So I'm still stuck in here for like another 4 years.
Speaking of your brother, did you happen to know anything about him dealing drugs at all to people?
Dealing drugs, he stooped to my level, huh? Before, didn't think he would, but hey, with us gone, me gone, my father gone, you gotta make money somehow. And that was kind of what the business was revolting down in the bottom area, the dark places of the company,
Good to know.
Interesting. Going back to these connections you say you have, you say that you're at the top now. Are you saying that you're all that in a prison now for just stabbing your brother in the eye?
Oh, not just the prison, darling. You see, what we got here going on is I run the prison mostly. There's some guards that don't like me, the ones who are looking at me. Hey, how you doing? And then we got the ones who look up to me, right? And not only that, because of those guards, I still got my connections on the outside. You see, my brother took the company. He didn't take most of it, though, because down under where I ruled before, the whole tragedy of my father passing away, or getting murdered, I should say. But I still got those connections. So I got connections to the outside. I got connections in here. Like I said, I'm straight chilling. I'm cruising through these 4 years.
And who are those connections?
Oh, great question. Those connections. I guess you would say my small business, kind of distributing goods to people. Yes, that's a great way to put it. We produce the goods, we sell the goods, we ship off the goods. You know the probation when they did like alcohol? That's what we're
Prohibition, yes.
There we go. We're focusing on the whole alcohol aspect of it. So nothing illegal, but we just sell them,
So you wouldn't have anything to do with your brother obtaining said heroin he was giving to Miss Jones?
Well, it depends when he got it, you see. Because if he got out right away. So which means traces of the old goods could still be there, which means he could have gotten those connections before I got them,
Did you help get heroin to your brother or not?
He got heroin? Whew. Yeah, no, that was not me. I did not distribute heroin to my brother. Why would I distribute it to him if he, stabbed my back while I stabbed his eye?
All right, moving on to Amber.
How did you know Amber exactly?
Old family friend, I guess you'd say. Never really liked her, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Why not?
She was always pepping around, all happy, all happy. I saw right through that act. She's not who you think she is. I'll tell you that right now. Also found her really annoying. Oh God, really annoying.
So you have a lot of pent-up anger against Miss Jones, yes?
For a couple of years, yes, and then it might have spiked up a while back due to some events.
Can you explain those events?
The whole family slander, I did not really like that, her bad family name, a name that I'm semi-proud of, I guess, when it comes to my business, because that kind of took my business downhill, I'll tell you that.
Detective Anna at home is wondering if she ever visited you because she was a close family friend.
No. You think she'd visit the family who she just slandered? You think she could see us eye to eye after everything that she said? I don't think so, because I think she knows the type of things, we're capable of, considering the fact that the whole family was sent to prison.
All right.
All right.
Well, I think we're about done here with you, Mr. Huntington. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your sentence that you got.
Take care. Don't end up in here.
It's funny he says don't end up in there. I was in there.
Wait, why is that funny?
Peabody, I think I've tried to explain this to you maybe 13 times.
Explain what?
I was literally part of that whole Huntington scandal. I've told you. I tried to tell you.
You really keep telling me.
Antoinette Ricci, how she disappeared after she got out. Yeah, that's when I joined the whole detective agency, and then we met and became partners. And
You're a funny one, Doc. There is no way the agency would let a criminal in.
sure, I don't know
Anyway.
how you actually became a detective. Whatever. Anyway, the detectives at home seem to find Mr. Marco Huntington a little bit more trustworthy than his brother.
I mean, who wouldn't trust an accomplice to murder, some sort of dealer for who knows what, and he's in prison right now? I mean, I would trust him.
I wouldn't. Moving on.
Okay. Our next suspect we would like to bring out is Mr. Andrew Burns.
Hello, detectives.
Mr. Burns. So, what have you been up to since the murder of Mr. Charles Huntington? We know you've previously worked with him.
Yes, after, well, let me just say this. You might remember that I was accused of the murder of Charles Huntington. I gotta tell you, that was not true. I was falsely accused, okay? Just let me clear that up right now. I was not guilty in any way of the murder of Charles Huntington. I was merely providing him a distraction. Occupation. I was keeping him occupied.
Of course. We're not here to interrogate you about any prior murder. This is our current murder for Miss
Let's
Amberlynn.
focus on the second murder that you're being interviewed for, not considering that you were fully an accomplice for the last one, but we're going to focus on this one.
Right. So to answer your question, since I was falsely accused, I immediately bailed myself out of jail because obviously I didn't want to go to prison. And I left Huntington's company and started my own tech business, which has then become very successful.
Good for you, Mr. Burns. Have you had any connections with Miss Amberlynn Jones through this company at all?
Yes, she was one of our customers who had gone through with a complaint of how she was unsatisfied with our products.
What was she unsatisfied with?
Pretty much everything, mostly the performance of our products.
Did she do anything to, express her unsatisfaction, or was it just a simple complaint?
As a matter of fact, she did. At first, it was just walking straight up to me and saying that she was not impressed. And then after I talked to her a bit, she tried to sabotage my business by flooding the main headquarters.
Flooding?
You heard that, right?
Did she succeed?
There was water bursting out the doors, and if you're running a tech company, that's not good.
Yeah, that must have been very bad towards your company. Are you still upset with Miss Jones about this?
Of course I am. She tried to sabotage my business. Of course I'm going to be upset about that.
Going back to you bailing out of jail, our detective Anna, she is wondering, how did you get all that money? You didn't have your company yet.
I worked for Mr. Huntington before. I was able to use my earnings from his company to bail me out.
All right. Well, you clearly are upset with Miss Amberlynn Jones flooding part of your tech business. Were things damaged? Did it cost you money? How big of this whole flood was it?
Well, when I walked back to the main headquarters to see what was going on, as I said, water was bursting out the doors and there were things damaged, but it wasn't too much that we couldn't handle. I have ways of dealing with such problems.
Like what?
Are you suggesting that I'm the one who killed Miss Amberlynn Jones? Because if you are sorely mistaken.
Well, would you consider her a problem?
She tried to sabotage my business. Of course she's a problem.
Mr. Burns, I'm going to ask you to calm down here. You clearly are very angry with her. Is it a possibility that you would try to do something to sabotage her back?
No, why would I do that?
Because she flooded your tech company?
And I dealt with the problem. Trying to be mature about it.
I just got some records that you took your private helicopter flying the night of her murder. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And it says here you looped around the same area she was in. Is that just a coincidence?
I did see a car running down, but I didn't think that was hers.
All right. Well, Mr. Burns, I think we're about done here. Head on your way. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you. You as well.
I mean, it must be some sort of just coincidence he was flying. I mean, it was a lovely night that night, right? I don't.
It's in the middle of winter in Colorado. Snow is everywhere. Why are you flying around in a helicopter? That honestly sounds quite dangerous.
That is true. I mean, Doc, you know I like to see the good in people. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about him.
He has a little bit of an anger issue, sounds like.
Don't we all, Doc? So our detectives at home, they're pretty split, 50-50 between saying he's trustworthy, very untrustworthy. We'll have to see how that goes in the end.
We'll find out soon enough, I guess.
Our next suspect is Mr. Ricardo Melendez.
Hello, detectives.
Hello,
Hello.
Mr. Melendez.
Mr. Melendez, so towards the end of last year, not last year's, 3 years ago, the first mystery that we was trying to solve, around that time, a little bit after that investigation, what was going on, and after the whole company went down, what did you end up doing?
You know, after the whole investigation, I kept working at the company, even though he's dead. Rest in peace. You know, and then after the slanders from Miss Amberlynn Jones, all the workers, you know, received bad reputation. So we were unemployed, and then, you know, we try to find other jobs. We can't. We're technically unemployed right now.
I'm sorry to hear that. What were these slanders that Miss Jones was sharing?
Oh my gosh, those slanders, Jesus. They were like so many papers, you know. She had like a whole essay of like pages. It looked like a bill from Congress or something. Oh my gosh. You know, she mentioned like very fake lies, you know, like how we have like shady business, or like how we treat customers badly. And, you know, she like wrote every headline for every even individual.
That's terrible.
I know.
Oh, you can go, Doc. Sorry.
Okay. How did these, you know, you're saying that these slanders that she was releasing and saying was rendering you unemployed. How has this been affecting you?
Oh my gosh, you know, just like I mentioned, you know, going through every place, I try to go like everywhere, you know, they'll say, can I check your records, you know? And so I gave them the records voluntarily. And then, you know, they say, no, you can't do it. Like, how desperate I am? I'll show you how desperate I am. I try to go to some McDonald's right there in the corner of my house, you know. I try to ask him from my employment, and they said, no. I asked, can I just work at a cashier? No, that's it. No, I can't do anything.
That's terrible. So would you blame Miss Jones for your unemployment?
Totally. Yes. You mentioned her name. Oh my gosh. You know, I'm gonna explode right now.
Oh.
Okay, well, the night of her death, were you anywhere near, or what were you doing?
No, I was just here right now where I am. You know, just drinking my sorrows away, you know, with my compadres right there. Hey, shh. Right now, no. Sorry, I was talking with my friends, you know, they're waiting for me to end this interview. I'll go right there. You know, we were just drinking, you know, it's like this blue, I don't even know what this is, but it's very good. It's very good. You know, we were just drinking our sorrows away we were like blaming, we were like making fun of Miss Amberlynn Jones.
Have you been drinking a lot recently?
To be honest, yes, a little bit too much, a little bit too much.
You happen to make poor choices when you drink a little too much?
I can't deny that, you know. That's the problem with drinking, you know. I can't take that away, you know. It's a habit, you know. It's like some addiction or something.
While I was doing some research, I found out that you are a licensed gun owner. Would you perhaps in your drunken rage potentially go ahead and try and shoot Miss Jones?
You know, probably. I don't know. I was drunk, you know, too much. I can't even remember what I did next. You know, we were going out, you know, driving all the way up, you know, all over the place. You know, I was driving a little bit, and then they took over the wheel, and you know, we were just there.
So you were out driving around the night that she was killed.
Driving, yes.
And drinking.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And did you have a gun in the car with you while you were driving and drinking?
You know, not me, but I know one of them had one. You know, I don't know if they used it, but not me.
Mr. Melendez, I think we're gonna have to keep you here for a little more questioning about your driving under the influence. But other than that, I think we're done, right, Detective?
Yeah, we're done here.
Okay.
All right. So, Doc, so far we have two people who didn't confess to killing her, but they've committed other crimes.
Yeah, people apparently not smart when they are talking to detectives.
Clearly.
I don't know, driving around while under the influence with other people who are under the influence, with a loaded gun, around the same area that she was in, that sounds a little suspicious.
Anybody in a drunken rage could have easily tried to kill her. I mean,
There you go. Now you're actually thinking quite smart, and the other detectives at home agree with us. He's pretty untrustworthy.
mm-hmm. Okay. Our final suspect is Mr. Diego Brando. Doc, I swear there was someone else with the last name Brando in a different investigation.
Hello, officer. And if you're referring to my old name, Dio Brando, I gotta let you know that
Yeah.
I fell in love with the mafia so much I Googled Italian names and Diego showed up. So yeah, is that great?
What an inspiring story.
I know.
You fell in, okay, the mafia? Did you join the mafia?
Yeah.
I
Something wrong with the mafia?
I don't think that's something you want to confess to two detectives about, Mr. Brando.
You're not cops, right?
We're higher up than
Who hired
cops.
you?
You think I'm gonna snitch? Come on.
Are you
Listen,
saying someone
buddy,
hired
who
you?
hired you?
I ain't gonna snitch on my capo, my great leader. I'm not.
Did someone hire you to kill Miss Jones?
I mean, I don't think I did that good a job at doing it, but yeah.
Hold on. Did you were hired to kill Miss Jones?
Yeah, by the capo. And because she took his favorite object, and it was this. It's one of those bracelets that says hello on the front.
Now why do you have it?
I got back. I did what he told me to. He told me to get back.
Are you confessing to killing Miss Jones?
I didn't kill her.
Then how exactly did you get the bracelet back?
I took it.
How?
All right, I'll start. You know that bomb that didn't go off?
The one that she had in the back of the car.
Yeah, the one that didn't go off.
Yes.
Yeah, that's work on me. I thought you would know because I signed it, with one of those Sharpies.
That's the idiot who signed the bomb very poorly. I cannot read. No one can read what it says. That's you?
Yeah.
To be
You didn't
honest,
know?
I thought she just had a bomb in the back of her car. I mean,
wouldn't
I
put it
figured it
past
was,
But
yeah.
so you were hired to kill her for God knows why.
I
And
told you it's the bracelet.
you were hired to kill her to get a bracelet back?
Yeah.
How did you get the bracelet back if the bomb didn't go off?
I don't know what happened to it. I don't think I put it in right. There's like these things I had to connect to the car to the bomb, but I don't think I put them in right. I think I saw one of those like electrical outlets, but I didn't see one in the car.
But how did you get the bracelet?
It's not that hard to get. It was just in the car. It was just sitting there.
So you broke into her car, but you didn't kill her?
No, that was the point of the bomb. Are you sure you're detectives? Like, are you sure? Can I see a degree?
How were you planning to get the bracelet if you were planning to blow her up with the bomb?
The point was, I was supposed to get the bracelet and use the bomb as revenge. But I wasn't sure that the bomb was going to get her, so I decided to do a couple other things to the car.
What other things did you do to the car?
So I went to the garage. I found this plasma welder, one of those fancy things I see on the YouTubes. And it's just decided to start just taking stuff off. I noticed like this big red thing next to the wheel. So I took that. I saw these fuzzy dice on the rearview mirror. I took that. And then I decided, hey, it'd be a good idea if I replace the mirrors with actual just normal glass, plain old glass. I took a hammer, and then I just decided to just start hitting things in the engine compartment. And also, my father told me that if you want something to work right, you put screws. You gotta make sure all the screws are put in. I took the vice versa. I started taking screws off. But I saw these really, really tight screws I couldn't get off, so I just took the cutter and I just started pulling stuff off. And also, I think it might be my most proud moment is I saw this big black box and I decided to Google it. It's called a car battery. I'm like, what has good battery duress? So I replaced it.
Did you happen to destroy the car while it was already at the bottom of the mountain?
No, it's not at the bottom of the mountain. This is like before she got in there.
So you did all of these things to her car before she got in the car and drove, and your attempt to kill her didn't work. So your plan B, in case the bomb didn't work, was to just mess up her car as much as you can to see if that could possibly kill her.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to work, so I had to hide in the trunk for a bit to make sure that would work. But you'll never guess what happened. Some bullet shots started going off. I'm like, I got to get out of here. So I had to hop out of the trunk. I was like at the side of this mountain. Like, it was crazy.
Oh.
Bullets?
Yeah. Gunshots. Yeah, it was
Were
crazy.
they coming from like the same level as you, or
I don't know. I think I know I had my loaded one in the pocket. I did see some holes in my pocket, so I don't know. It was crazy.
Okay.
I also had these strange wounds in my flesh. It really hurt, man.
Bullet wounds?
There's like these circle things. Yeah, I think so.
All right, we're done. We're done here. Thank you. Go on.
We'll
in a holding cell. You are going to be arrested for attempted murder.
Quick question. Can I go flee the? Get this back to my good old man.
No.
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 Please go.
Please.
Doc, to be honest, I think all of these suspects are just idiots.
Every last one of them. Every last one of them. How did they make it this far?
I don't know, Doc. I mean, he's...
Well, all the detectives at home think that he's very untrustworthy, as do I, but it sounds like he's not smart enough to actually kill her, cause...
I don't think so either.
But he said that he heard... There was
Gunshot.
gunshot, and he was also hit, so it came from the back.
I don't know, Doc. I think now we should send out our final poll. See who really. We're supposed to be getting the autopsy back soon, so we'll see.
Well, we just got the autopsy in, and
Oh, you did?
I did.
Okay.
They did find traces of heroin in her system.
Oh,
There are also bullet wounds.
I mean, could the heroin have killed her? It couldn't have. Like, it might
It
have.
does seem like large amounts of heroin, but
I don't know, Doc.
hopefully the detectives at home help us figure this out.
How many? Where were the bullet wounds?
It's in the back of her. It's in the back of her head. Well, results
don't-
come in from our detectives at home, and a good amount of them say that it's Andrew Burns.
I think so too. I mean, clearly, if she was shot in the head, a drunken person couldn't have hit her. It had to have been like from somewhere else. Can we get Mr. Burns back in here?
Detectives, are you suggesting that I'm the one who killed Amberlynn Jones?
Yes, that is exactly what we're saying.
Yes.
All right, fine. You got me. Honestly. There's no way out of this, is there?
You want to tell us what actually happened at night?
Okay, fine. That helicopter ride might not have been just a little sightseeing tour. I may have had a sniper in it at some point.
A sniper.
So you did?
So you shot Miss Amberlynn Jones in the head.
You know what? I'm done here. Just arrest me. Just arrest me.
Well, we have paperwork to fill out. Did you get in a helicopter, fly around, and shoot Miss Amberlynn Jones in the back of her head while she was driving home from a party?
At the back of her head?
Yes.
Did you or did you not, Mr. Burns?
Yes.
That's all we needed to hear. Mr. Burns, you are under arrest for the murder of Miss Amberlynn Jones.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Now let's give him a round of applause, audience members. Wow, what a shock. Can we get all of the actors and our artistic director on camera, on stage, to take a big old bow and go ahead? All right. What a shocker. I did not think it was Andrew Burns. My money was on Bob Huntington. But you detectives at home, man, you just got it. Well, at this time, I would like to thank everyone for joining us. We will have another performance at 8:30. If you're going to be coming back, the screen is just going to say that it's locked. That's just kind of to keep audience members out until we're ready to bring everybody in. Thank you again so much for coming out, and have a great night, everybody. Thank you.